Hey guys, I'm back with a quick video on the 5 steps that you need to take to become a notary signing agent. And I just want to say I've really enjoyed connecting with you guys. It's been so fun reading through your comments, and I've actually connected to some people on Facebook, and it's just been really fun hearing where you guys are in this process and answering your questions. So please continue to comment and like and subscribe, and stay tuned till the end of this video because I'm going to talk to you about what parts of this process I would do first because of some time constraints, and also how my husband beat me and he got his first loan signing before me. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay guys, so the process to become a notary signing agent or a loan signing agent, and both of those terms are interchangeable. So if I use either one of them, that's what I'm talking about. A notary signing agent is a loan signing agent. But it's really simple and fast actually to become a loan signing agent. And really I was surprised in the beginning when we started researching this that there was a business that we could invest so little time, that required so little training, and that could make us really good money in such a short amount of time. So let me tell you about the steps. All right, step number 1 is you have to get your commission. So every state has different requirements for commission, and some of them are literally as simple as filling out an application like a credit card application. And then some states require you to actually complete a full training and pass an exam. In my state of Oregon, they do require to complete the training and pass the exam. And so you need to go to your state's Secretary of State website, look up their training courses, take the course, and then take the exam. So for our state of Oregon, I will link the Secretary of State's sites in the description below. And then you will go on, take your test, and when you pass it, they'll send you an email confirmation that you print out. You go to your post office or wherever, you get that notarized, and then you send it in to the Secretary of State with a $40 fee. So your commission in our state only costs $40. And within a few days, I had my commission certificate emailed back to me that I was able to print. So step 1, done. Step 2, now that you have your commission in hand and you have your commission number, that is what is required to order your stamp. There are a couple of different ways to go about ordering your stamp. So what I did was I got my stamp as part of my package from the NNA, and that package deal I paid $279 for the Oregon state required training, when really I could have just gotten it for free through the state. But that package did come with my stamp and my journal and some other things. But when I looked at the prices like individually, like how it was all laid out, that stamp really cost me about $29. And I sent my commission information in to get my stamp made back on the 18th of December. And then they didn't get my commission, and so I had to call because I hadn't heard anything. A few days later I called. They said, oh no, you're not supposed to submit it there, email it here. I tried to email it, that didn't work. I got a follow-up email that said we weren't able to open your email. Long story short, it took me like 5 different times of calling and emailing before I finally got them to upload my commission the way it needed to be so that they could make my stamp. And today, finally, on the 31st of December, I got a notification that my stamp was sent in the mail. So as of now, I still do not have my stamp in hand, so I am unable to do any loan signings at this point. Whereas my husband, he just ordered his stamp from Amazon. So he paid $13.25. He ordered his stamp and he got it 6 days later. So I would definitely recommend just ordering your stamp from Amazon, not only for the price benefit, but for the time. You guys, in this time, this last week, I have actually been offered 3 different loan signings that I had to turn down. It was a total of like $325 that I had to turn down because I didn't have my stamp in hand, so I wasn't able to go to any of those assignments. So order through Amazon. That's my big tip for getting your commission. Your stamp. Now I'm going to tell you about step 3, which is you have to order a journal. So in order to record your notarial acts, every state requires you to have a journal. And I got my journal through the NNA as part of my package deal. You know, I paid $279 for that package. It came with my stamp, my journal. It paid for the Oregon required state training, but I could have gotten that for free. And then it gave me some other supplies. But this is the journal I got. This journal cost me, when I broke it down, about $49. And it's a good journal. But one of the things that I noticed is that each entry number, it's numbered like 1 through 8, but then on the next page it's numbered 1 through 8 again, which, from my understanding of going through the Oregon training, it's supposed to be a consecutive numbering system from the front to the end. So yeah, that was my journal. It came with a privacy guard. Now my husband, of course, did a different way. So he got this notary journal off of Amazon, and his journal cost $7.99, and I'll put a link to this in the description. And I actually like the way that his journal is set up better. So you can see, like, his are numbered consecutively. So this is like 193 down to 200 here. And then one of the other things that I liked about his journal was that it has some check boxes, like for example, where you're writing down the type of notary. It has like acknowledgement, oath or affirmation. So you can just check a box instead of having to write all the information in, so save you a little bit of time. And again, the price is really great and it's really sturdy. This is a great journal. But then after I got to talking to some notary signing agents that are out there working, several of them recommended this journal. So this one is also from Amazon, and this journal costs $16.83. And what's cool about this journal is that it's made for signing agents. And so let me show you how this journal works. So first of all, it's spiral bound, so you can open it to just one entry at a time. So instead of having 2 pages showing, you can just have 1 page showing, which is nice for your clients because then it's keeping their private information private. Nobody else is going to see their signatures. And then when you fill it out, you put the name of signer. It still has a place for 2 signers. But then they only have to actually sign once at the top. And then as you're putting in all of the different certificates, then they would just initial by each certificate. And then it has all the same information. I was a little bit like unsure when we looked at this, if this met all of the Oregon state requirements for a journal, because I remember going through the training, they were very specific as to what your journal had to have. So I went back and looked. And basically what it said was that it needed to be permanently bound so that none of the pages could be added or removed. And I would say that this does count as that. I don't love that it's spiral bound because it seems like not as secure as this journal. So in the future, maybe I'm looking forward to a surprise I can tell you about journals in general. But for now, like starting out, I think for the time saving aspect of it, I probably would start with this journal. Okay, so you guys, that gets you through step 3. You got your commission, ordered your stamp, ordered your journal, and now the next step is that you have to buy a printer. So let me talk to you about printers. When you start out in this business, the way you're going to get work in the very beginning is going through signing services. And there are signing service databases or signing services directly, and I can talk about that more in another video. But what you need is a laser printer. You're not going to get hired unless you have the ability to print docs, because when you get a signing offered to you, they email you the documents and you need the ability to print them at home. Not only do you need a laser printer, but you need a dual tray laser printer because you have to have the ability to print both letter and legal size documents. And so when we went to go search out the printer that was recommended, it was a Brother printer. We looked on Amazon, we looked everywhere we could on the internet, and the cheapest that we can find them for was on Amazon for $675. And we were like, that's a lot of money to pay for a printer. So we did a little bit more research and figured out that you can actually buy a little bit of a different model of Brother where you can add that second tray. And so we did that, and doing that together, the total for that printer plus the tray was only $397. So it was a significant savings, but still pretty expensive. And then for us, we already have a scanner at home, so we're able to just scan with that scanner. There are some options. If you really can't afford a printer and you can't afford a scanner, you could always go and print documents at FedEx or Kinko's or something like that, but that is really going to eat into your profit. And so I would say that if you have the ability to buy the printer at all, you should really go ahead and make that purchase. One more thing, when you get the printer, like for us, I would say we're pretty tech savvy, but it was a pain to set it up. We watched the little videos from Brother. It didn't work with our computer the way it was set up, so we ended up having to call the 1-800-BROTHER number, and my husband was on the phone with him for like 2 hours to get it to work. But after all of the rigmarole, he got it working. We can now print letter and legal documents. And in the future, I will do a video that tries to make that process a little bit easier, and I will explain that for you guys. Okay, so now that brings us to step 5. You have all the basic supplies you need, but before you go out there and start signing, there's one more thing that you should probably get, and that is insured and in some states bonded. So in our state of Oregon, there is no E&O insurance required, and E&O stands for errors and omissions, and it's basically insurance that covers you in case you make a mistake. In our state, like I said, it's not required. You don't have to be insured and you don't have to be bonded. However, for me, we just felt like it would be better to have insurance and not need it than to need it and not have it. So this topic is very complicated. There's errors and omissions insurance for notaries, which is what I ended up buying through the NNA. That cost me $108 for $100,000 of coverage for a year. However, like doing some research about it, we're really starting to question whether that would cover us in the act of loan signing, and it seems like it will not cover us for anything other than the actual notarial act. So we're doing a little bit more research about that. But my husband, for now, he actually got a policy through Byberk, and he's paying $381 for a year, which works out to be $31.75 a month, and that gives him $1 million worth of coverage, and it does cover him for all aspects of being a loan signing agent. So if he were to get sued because he messed up a notice of right to cancel or whatever, it would cover him for that. Whereas with the other policy, you're not going to be covered for things like that. So it's something that requires research, and if I get more information about that, I'll share it with you guys in the future. One more thing about insurance is that so far, as I've been filling out my applications for those different signing services, almost all of them have required you to upload your E&O policy and provide the number and provide the amount of insurance. And my understanding is that some different signing services or different banks require you to have different amounts of E&O insurance. So some of the questions were, do you have at least $100,000 of coverage? Do you have greater than $500,000 of coverage? So just know that the amount of coverage that you get will limit your ability to do some signings, because if you don't have enough coverage, that's not going to allow you to take certain signings. Okay, you guys, that's all you need. That's the 5 steps. If you do those 5 things, you can go out there, you can put your name with signing services and start getting business and get some signings. However, that is the bare minimum of what you need, because you guys, this is a business that is all about referrals and about your reputation. And so in good conscience, as your friend and your mentor, I wouldn't feel right sending you out there untrained and unknowledgeable, because if you go out there and you don't understand about loan documents, you're going to make a mistake, and that's your reputation on the line. And so, I mean, I had to learn so much, and I learned things like, not to have the borrower sign the wrong place on a notice of right to cancel, because that would cancel the whole deal, and how to fill out the right dates on that form based on a rescission calendar, and where are the common errors, where do most notaries make mistakes, the signature on the top of the second page of the 1003. And so I know all of this doesn't make sense to you, and that's the point I'm trying to make, is that you need to get some training. So my husband and I did a lot of research. We watched so many testimonials and read blog reviews, and over and over again, the loan signing system continued to be the course that was recommended just across the board. And not only were they recommended, but just glowing testimonials from everybody that took the course. So that's the route we went. We bought the loan signing system. And I have to tell you guys, I don't regret it one bit. So that course has just been a deep dive into everything I needed to know to become a loan signing agent. But not just that, it also taught me everything I needed to know to grow my business, and the wealth of information is just overwhelming. There are so many videos. I haven't even touched the surface. You get access to all of the past mentorship videos, and it's just, it's a big difference from other programs that are out there. But since I brought that up, let me talk to you about some of the other programs that are out there. So the NNA does offer a loan signing training. So one of the courses that you'll need to get is NNA certified. So even if you take the loan signing system, you still have to get your NNA background check and certification, because that is required by all the signing services. That's just basically saying that you are a reputable person and you have a background check that is completed. And so I went onto the NNA site and paid the $70 and got their minimum package. But when I was on there, I saw that they do have an option for a loan signing course. And so I went ahead and bought it because I just wanted to see what it was like and how it compared to the loan signing system. And let me tell you guys, it was very basic information. Like, to compare, when they were covering like loan documents, they would say, explain this to the signer by saying, and they basically just tell you what the title of the form is. Versus when you're taking the course from Mark Wills, he's putting it in real life language and easy to understand language. And if I had taken just the NNA course alone, I would have felt pretty confused about a lot of the documents. And really, our job is to go out there and make the clients feel at ease and feel comfortable with what they're signing. And the only way that you're able to do that is to be knowledgeable and to be able to give a simple explanation and just to know where to point them to read the information so that they can understand what it is that they're signing. And we are an extension of the escrow office. So if we go and we don't know what we're talking about and we do a really bad job, we're not going to get a call back, and that's just that's the way the business is going to work. So yes, I am really glad that I bought the loan signing system. Some of the other things that, besides feeling very prepared and understanding the documents, I got access to his private Facebook group, and this, you guys, has just been amazing. So not only could I tag Mark and ask him a specific question, but I had the ability to connect with loan signing agents from my state. So when I had state-specific questions, I threw a question up there, asked if anybody else was a notary in Oregon, and I got immediate responses. And he says on there, you know, like, this is a family, and really it does have that kind of atmosphere, that kind of feeling. So people are just friendly, they are encouraging, they're uplifting. When somebody posts and, you know, they're sharing about making a mistake, everybody's like, hey, it happens, like, you know, pick yourself back up. It's just a really good environment. And so that alone, the wealth of information there, was probably worth the price of the course to me. So I absolutely endorse it. I recommend it. If you're my friend, I recommend it. If you're watching this video, I recommend it. And so I am going to post in the description below a comment, and that is actually my affiliate link. So if you sign up through that link, it would give me a very small commission, and it'll be no extra cost to you, and that'll help me just to keep on making videos and putting information out there. So please, if you're going to purchase the course, go ahead and purchase it through my link. Okay, so as I promised in the beginning, I was going to tell you what process I thought you should do first and why. And here it is. You have to get your commission first. That has to be the first step. And I would recommend ordering your stamp as the very next step, because in my case, I ordered my stamp through the NNA and I'm still waiting. I still haven't gotten it. My husband ordered his stamp through Amazon and had it in hand. So remember those 3 loan signings that I said I got offers for? Well, my husband got that 3rd loan signing offer the day after he got his stamp in hand, and he went and did it. And so he actually beat me to the punch. He got his first signing done before me, and I was super excited for him, but also was like, I wanted to go first. So anyway, get your stamp ordered because that might take the longest. The next thing that takes a long time, so I would actually switch the order up a little bit, is do that NNA certification and background check. And again, that was just a $70 package because that is required to get into the signing service databases by many of the signing services. So you can't even like start your profile until you have that certification. And normally it only takes a few days, but right now because of COVID, there are places that are just behind and they don't have clerks in the office. And so I called today and they told me that it could be all the way until January 12th until my background screening comes in. So go ahead and get that started, and then after you get your stamp ordered and after you take that background check and that commission certification, then start the process of going through the loan signing system, because you guys, you won't regret it. It's a really good course and it's going to help you to grow this business and get started on the right foot and go out there and make a great impression. So tell me what you want to hear more about. Leave more comments. I've been having a great time interacting with you, and thanks for being here, and Happy New Year.